Let me get this straight. You blew up a building.
2 CIs and the CEO of 22andU.
Two competing federal agencies with the same mission.
I don't understand why those Fed a-holes are so darn mean.
To protect the public from the scourge of dangerous misinformation.
You know those bum idiots. This is all them. We had a solid case.
The word entrapment, not even in their vocabulary.
The explosives we provided were fake.
Sworn to a duty to always tell the truth.
We have no indication at this time that this was a deliberate act.
We're all being transferred.
To where?
The only place currently with openings. Alaska.
Good morning.
Welcome to the office, huh?
And we got the retro feel. You know, the funny about federal buildings, they're all different, but they're still somehow all the same.
Oh, good morning, Agent Walker. At the coffee station. We actually drew straws before he got here, and I won, so we get to work together.
Let's get started. Let's see if we can't stir something up.
Let's give it a minute. I like to warm up the truth muscles a little coffee beforehand.
Well, what do you want to do first?
What do we have for a surveillance van?
Oh, wow. I got a Ford Explorer. We don't have a surveillance van.
Do you put many cases here?
Cases?
Yeah, cases. We're the tip of the spear when it comes to protecting American democracy.
You really believe this? You really believe that people posting crap online is going to cause our country to crumble?
I think the work that we do is important.
We don't have a surveillance van.
Missing people got one. We've never needed one.
We need a surveillance van. We need a big case or a CI who can lead us to a big case.
What do you need the van for?
Surveillance.
CIs, or confidential informants, are the lifeblood of any good law enforcement agency. Public posts on social media are one of the best ways to find CIs. Agents would never use coercion or take things out of context to try and persuade someone to become a confidential informant.
The new Taylor Swift single is absolute fire. I'm just seeing a lot of incendiary and violent language here.
Agents always need to be on their toes and ready to make snap decisions.
Is there anything I can do for you guys?
Actually, David, there is something you can do for us.
Chicky nuggies.
Chicky nuggies.
What?
Cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger. McDonald's cheeseburger.
Burger King.
Burger King cheeseburger.
Flame broiled.
And chicken nuggets.
Oh, baby, know you're gonna like it. I wanna be your beaver pilot. Said, honey, know you're gonna like it. I wanna be.
Awesome, right?
Is this a loner?
This thing's totally legit.
What is this? It's got windows!
Check it out. Hello. Welcome to the thing. Hey. All right. We are rocking and rolling here. It is a wonderful evening in Anchorage, Alaska. And oh, wait, I hear an echo, and I know why. There we go. Get rid of that echo. And it's gone. Because, we can't start without a little bit of technical difficulties. And, of course, being me, I had to throw even more. Hey, you. Nope, hey, you back. Hope you are doing wonderful. So I started messing around yesterday with a thing called Voice Mod. It is a it's a voice modulator kind of thingy. And the reason I did it is because I've had it on, but I have the software, but I never really loaded it up, right? I never really tried to put it to use. And so I'm like, but then I noticed that there was one voice that was intriguing to me. And I think it kind of would be like the Jen McCabe voice. And it's called Angry Girl. Man, I am super white all of a sudden. I adjusted this damn stuff right before the show. And then, of course, it... yeah, let's see. Why am I so white? There, now I'm not. Maybe it's could be this screen. I don't know. It's just really bright all of a sudden. Oh, that. Anyway. Okay, so so I got to see if this works. I think I've got it programmed right. It sounds like it's so right now I've got the Better Mic 4K on, and I thought that sounded good. But if I want to complain about Google searches, all I got to do is go.
I didn't make the Google search. I don't know anything about 227 Google search.
So there we go. There's my angry girl voice. And there's a few others I've loaded up. Like
I've got a megaphone voice. Like I can tell you, hey ho, something's got to go.
So I'm just starting to play around with it. I'm not sure. I don't think the Darth Vader voice sounds too much like
Darth Vader. Like this would be the Vader voice. I don't know if this actually sounds like a Vader voice or not, but
anyway, back. That's the regular one. Yeah, no, it's been pretty fun so far. Hang on a second. I see one of the issues. All right. Okay. Yeah, so that I was playing around with that yesterday, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't even know what this one sounds like. This is like the cool chorus thing. So, hey, you. Hello. I'm messing around with my voice mod, which has, which the whole reason I saw it is because I was just messing around with it. And then I found the Jen McCabe voice, and I'm like,
I did not do those 227 Google searches. I don't know what you're talking about.
So that was my that was my my momentary. Yeah, no, they've got all, I mean, it's crazy. Like
there's a girl 4K voice. You can just switch to a woman's voice, and I thought also would be kind of interesting for doing voiceovers and stuff. I can do my own voiceovers if I would with different voices.
But for now, we'll just stick with the 4K mic. With the Better Mic 4K. We'll stick with that one for now. But I still like the angry girl voice, because it does. It sounds pretty angry too. Not just doesn't sound like a girl voice. It actually gives it a little bit of anger to it. So
she said, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. That's what I heard.
No. Oh man. So I had a dentist appointment today, and I don't like the dentist. like going to the dentist. But it's something you have to do. So and it wasn't just a regular cleaning. It's like a super deep root scraping cleaning that hurts like hell. So I'm like, you need to give me, I'm not going unless I don't remember it. And of course, I don't remember it. I don't remember much at all. I remember getting there at about 8:40, and Dr. Lee was already there. He was already ready. Had these 4 beautiful little pills for me. And I took them, sat down in the chair, and proceeded to, I had the trial in my ear, right? So I was listening to the beginning part of it. And so I sit down and kind of surf my phone, and then I'd like put my head back for a minute, and then I'd surf my phone, and then it's like I put my head back for a few more minutes. And then by the time the actual hygienist, I don't even remember the hygienist really starting. I don't remember I kind of remember, are you ready to go? And I'm like, hey, whatever. Like, do whatever you want to do with me. Like, whatever, go for it. Kat, she was my driver because you can't drive home by yourself after that. No. So she was my driver. So she went off and did some shopping at Costco, right? Yep, got some Costco shopping done, which was cool. And then so we've got dog food and whipping cream and I'm sure a few other things. Chocolate milk. Yes, we did get some chocolate milk. But other than that, no, it was all right. Yeah, they just basically had to get to like really deep down into the gums and clean out it's called a root planing or something, and it hurts like hell. But no, actually, they do a really good job of it. Actually, like it's sore. But I've had it done a few times, and I had it done without the happy stuff, and I will never do that again because it sucks. But when I had it done the happy way today, it was a lot better. And at this place, it doesn't hurt as bad afterwards because it's like the first time I had it done. Oh my God, it was like painful for 4 days. Like I couldn't eat anything hard for like 2 days. And it finally started to clear up. And it's like with this one, they do a much better job. I don't know what they're doing, but they do a much better job. So it doesn't. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I'm not going in without the shit. No, I'm just not. And so they only did half. They did half of my mouth today. And so then they'll go back and they'll do the other half. But because of my schedule's been so crazy, and the hygienists are off, it's probably not going to be until the end of the month now. So the end of the month, I'll go back. And if they can, I don't know if they can squeeze, they might have an appointment that pops open and said, hey, can we squeeze you in here? And, we'll see, because we'll have to figure out if I can get a ride or not. Oh, hang on. I think my headphones just went off. Yay. They did. All right. All right. So that was my day. And I was like, oh. Then I came home and slept. And then I woke up and Kat made me some macaroni and cheese. And I sat down at my computer and I ate macaroni and cheese. And then she left to go to her appointments. And I went back to sleep. I fell back asleep on the couch for like another few hours. And it was a great Monday. I mean, that's the way you should spend Mondays. Except for the whole have to go to the dentist part. But if you got to go to the dentist, let them give you happy pills so you can sleep most of the day and not remember the appointment. That's a good way to do it, I do believe. So we did have more of a trial today, too. And we had, I just, what are these witnesses? I mean, what is the prosecution's point that like, who are these people? So we started off with the let me go ahead and just share. Now, hopefully I'll remember to hit the share button tonight more than I normally do. I'm going to make a concerted effort to every time I switch to a different share thing that we will share it on the screen. That's my goal tonight, is to be a good share of the screen.
As it exists in our bodies. Serum is the liquid portion of blood after those cellular components have been.
So this was the person that got on the stand. She was on the stand Friday. Then she came back today for some cross-examination.
And 1.19 can adjust for the difference between the water content and therefore the serum and whole blood ratio that's observed in studies.
And that change in conversion factors.
So this is Lally here. Lally. Let's see.
They have medical records to review.
I think that was a long way of saying yes to my question, right? My question was to calculate a precise conversion rate for somebody, you'd first need to precisely know the amount of water in that person's blood, correct?
Just ask it differently, Mr. Unity.
Is it scientifically possible to predict with accuracy a precise conversion rate for one individual person?
Yes.
Everybody has a different amount of water in his or her blood, correct?
There is a normal variation between individuals.
I'm sorry, I'm going to do my best to ask yes or no questions.
And then you just answer the question. Answer the question.
And have you explain, but
So
this will go more quickly.
No comments. Just go ahead and ask a question.
Sure.
So right here, this is he asked the question. That's a yes or no question. And then the person gives there's a variation of everybody. And it's not my question. Now it's the judge's responsibility to say, answer the question. The judge is supposed to be the one that gives this instruction. It's not supposed to be the defense instructions. Instead, the judge reprimands the defense person.
I'm sorry. I'm going to do my best to ask yes or no questions.
And then you just answer the question. Answer the question.
And have you explain, but
So
this will go more quickly.
No comments. Just go ahead and ask a question.
Sure.
Oh, this judge.
Hey, Judge, maybe if you had her
Everybody
actually
has a
answer
different
the
amount of
question.
water in his or her blood, correct?
Yes. Thanks, Nick.
Yes.
And there are a number of factors that influence the amount of water in somebody's blood, correct?
Yes.
What is hematocrit?
I don't know.
Hematocrit is the percentage of red blood cells in whole blood cells. Do you know that?
Sustained.
Are you aware that individual hematocrit can vary and that it affects the water content in blood?
Sustained.
So he can't even get a question in. It's ridiculous. So this witness, I don't know how effective they are. Then we start getting into the people in the house. Here are the folks that came in the house. This is Ryan Nagel.
Tell us, after you leave McCarthy's, where do you go?
I was going to go home, but
Straight
my
to
sister
hell.
Julie texted me to be picked up.
When you were going to go home, tell us, when you leave McCarthy's, what kind of vehicle were you in?
I was in my friend Ricky's Ford pickup truck.
Who was driving?
He does have
anybody else
small
with you
ears.
too?
My ex-girlfriend.
Heather. You know Heather's last name?
Maxine.
Was she in the front or the back of the truck?
She was in the back seat.
So you three were in the truck and Ricky was driving?
Correct, sir.
You mentioned you were going to go home. Did you start to head towards your home?
Mr. Brand, slow down a little bit for the court reporter, please.
Pardon.
This guy's ears
You
are
mentioned you were
minuscule.
going- how long did it take you after you left to redirect and get to that address?
Roughly 5 to 7 minutes.
Do you know what time?
It seems like everything in this, every distance between everything is 5 to 7 minutes. It's 5 to 7 minutes from 34 Fairview to John O'Keefe's house. It's 5 to 7 minutes from the bar to 34 Fairview. It's always 5 to 7 minutes everywhere you go. It's crazy.
Time specifically.
But, you know, things work differently in Canton, Massachusetts.
You arrived at that address.
Right, a little before 12:30.
Is that a general guess?
Yes.
Did you look at your watch and note the time, or is this an
No.
estimate?
Just an estimate, sir.
So the estimate is you arrived around 12:30?
Correct.
When you approach the house, before you approach the house, is there a road that intersects Fairview?
Yes.
And what?
Yes, sir.
That's
Have
the
you
one.
driven on Cedar Crest before?
Yes, sir.
If you're driving on Cedar Crest, can you loop
What about
around
you-
like intersection?
Yes, roughly around the same time.
So he
Who
keeps
turned
going.
onto Fairview first?
The other vehicle. Take it right.
So he's
That
saying,
vehicle is going to take a right onto Fairview,
Correct, sir.
and your vehicle is coming in the opposite direction?
Correct.
Where was your vehicle going?
Taking a left onto Fairview.
Did you both meet at that
so they're
intersection?
both going to Fairview.
yes,
This
roughly around the
is
same time.
her,
Who
him,
turned
and
onto Fairview first?
The
Karen
other
Reed's
vehicle.
car.
How did that happen?
I believe Ricky flashed his lights to let them go.
Did you see the other vehicle?
Yes.
Do you remember what kind of vehicle it
That
was?
was a black SUV.
When that car turned right onto Fairview, how long after did Ricky turn left onto Fairview?
Seconds.
When you came to that intersection and met that car, when
That-
Ricky blinked his lights, could you see
Nose is a
inside
little red
that
there, buddy.
SUV?
Now, just so everybody knows, and I have it pulled up right here. So let me share something different here. Entire screen. We don't need. All right, so we'll get into the. All right, so this is 34 Fairview Road right here. And let's make sure we're pointing north. Okay, so we're pointing north. All right, so this is Cedar Crest. This is the road they're talking about. I believe. Let's make sure. Does that say Cedar Crest Road? It should say Cedar Crest Road. Yep, Cedar Crest. Okay. So the report is that Karen Reed and John O'Keefe were driving down here. They went past Fairview. They turned around up here somewhere. They came back down. At this point, this is where they ran into, well, not literally ran into, but this is where they bumped into Mr. Nagel here and his buddy Ricky. So they were coming this way. They turned right on Fairview Road. And then Ricky and them turned left right behind them. And then 34 Fairview is right there. This is 34 Fairview Road. This is the lawn. And what blows me away is Google Maps has got 34 Fairview Road completely blocked out. You cannot see. Oh, there it is. Okay. Next one, blurred. Watch. Completely blurred out. So there's one There's one open picture of 34 Fairview Road. So when they're talking about a little bit later, and I'll leave this up. I'm going to leave this up so we can come back to it later. But when they're talking about it later, this is the front door. That's the front door, and that's the side door, or the. So see, they have two different entry doors on their house. The main door with the steps. You can see when you're coming out of the house, there's the steps, and then there is the flagpole. Oh no. Oh no, you stupid thing. All right, there we go. And it is, let's just do a little measurement here. Math. All right. From the steps to the street is 0.001 miles. All right. How many feet is that? That is 55 feet. To the flagpole area is 60 some feet. 62 feet. 62 feet. That's all we're talking. So we see the mailbox, we see the driveway. So, okay. Let us continue. We go back to wee. All right. There we go. All right. Stand by.
Say that again?
When you came to the intersection at Fairview, and you said that the driver of your truck, Ricky, blinked his lights, could you see anything inside the SUV?
I wasn't really looking.
After that SUV turned right onto Fairview and Ricky turned left onto Fairview, who was in front of who?
The other vehicle was in front of us.
Was the other vehicle in front of you the entire time you saw it?
Yes, sir.
Did Ricky ever drive and park in front of that vehicle?
No, we were behind them.
Always behind it?
Always.
Now, remember there was a question, that Jen had testified that there was a white Jeep, which Higgins' Jeep was parked right by the mailbox.
When Ricky pulled up to Fairview, where did he stop?
Right in front of the driveway of the Albert's house.
You were in the front passenger side of the truck?
Correct, sir.
If you looked directly outside that window, what would you have seen?
The driveway and the house.
The other vehicle, did it stop at the driveway?
No, it was probably like a car length in front of us.
So it was in front of you?
Correct, sir.
Did you ever see that car stop at
So a car length in front of it, no white Jeep.
the driveway?
At the driveway.
These people all left the bar at the same time. But this guy never saw the white Jeep.
Driveway, I don't recall.
Did you wait before you got to Fairview, or did Ricky drive directly to Fairview after he took the left?
Well, he turned the left onto Fairview.
Okay. Did he wait, or did he drive directly to Fairview?
That doesn't make any sense.
The car in front of you, did you ever see it move behind you in front of the driveway?
It was in front of me the whole time.
And so I'll ask the question.
These are stupid questions.
Again, did you ever see that SUV stop at the foot of the driveway?
No, but I did see the brake lights. It looked like it moved, but it wasn't. So the brake lights were on. They released them and then stopped again.
This testimony makes no sense.
So probably moved another car length up.
How many times did you see the brake lights on?
Just once, sir.
After
Sir, have you ever
stopped at the foot of
not
the
worked at a
driveway,
Napa
did you
Auto
keep your
Parts?
attention on that SUV?
Not really. No, I was more concerned about my sister.
So you were
Yeah, so he talks, so he stops. Then his sister comes out and they have a conversation.
studying it?
No.
Were you making any notes or trying to mark its direction of travel? No. But you do know, or do you have any doubt that it was in front of you the entire time?
Yes, it was.
All right. So last time his testimony was he didn't see anybody in the car whatsoever. So let me find out where.
Your sister began to walk back to the house.
We were pulling away from the driveway and kind of just glancing back over at Julie to make sure she got in.
When your sister went back up the driveway to go in the house, when was the next point you had any chance to see the SUV?
When we were passing it.
He was adamant he did not see anybody in the car the last trial.
When you were passing the SUV, where was it located in relation to the house, flagpole?
Directly in front of the house.
Was it anywhere near the flagpole as you drove by?
Probably like a car length from that.
A car length from the flagpole?
Yes, give or take.
Is that?
All right. Let's just look at this. All right, put away the measuring thing. Back here. We got the one picture that's not, but we can kind of see with the. So here's the flagpole. A car length back from the flagpole puts it right about here. Maybe a little closer there. But you can see that's basically right in front of those damn stairs. I mean, that's right in front of those stairs. It is.
Is that the middle, right, or left side of the house?
That would be towards the left side of the house.
As you drove by that SUV, what was your primary focus?
My sister's here. Like watching her get in.
Did you glance or see anything else in your vision as you were watching your sister go into the house?
I saw that there was a woman in the driver's seat of the black SUV in front of me.
I can make a joke about this guy and his sister, but I won't. Never mind. Never mind. I don't know what I hit. What did I hit? Why is it? Oh, I want my transcript back. What's going on here? Oh no, I don't want mute. There we go. Woo. Freaking out.
I saw that there was a woman in the driver's seat of the black SUV in front of me, sitting there with her hands on the steering wheel at 10 and 2.
Did you get a good enough look that you would remember who that person was, or was it too brief to identify the person?
Too brief, sir.
You saw the person in the SUV with their hands on the wheel. How did you see them inside the car?
Their dome light was on.
Do you know how a dome light comes on in a vehicle?
Do you know how a dome light comes on in a vehicle? What? Now we're getting into lolly territory here. Lolly territory. What, if anything, do you have to push to turn on a dome light?
Yes, sir. Either you press it yourself or if there's a door open.
When you had the glance or the glimpse of the woman in that SUV holding the wheel, you said 10 and 2?
Correct, sir.
Could you describe for us what that means?
Just like a clock, just the hands on the clock, like 10 and 2.
It's not like the hands on a clock. I don't know why. Okay.
I was just waiting for the siren, Your Honor.
Just really the location of the numbers 10 and 2 is what matters there.
Yeah.
The hands on the clock don't.
Is very correct.
Thank you.
All right.
When you drove by and you said you saw a woman sitting in the front and the dome light was on.
When you saw her.
When you drove by and you said you saw a woman sitting in the front and the dome light was on, did you see anybody else in the car?
No, sir.
Were you looking for anybody?
No, sir.
He makes more of an R sound when he says SAR than he does when he says car. Make it make sense.
Could there have been somebody else in the vehicle at that time?
It could have been, yes.
Could there have been?
Last trial he said he did not see anybody
else in the vehicle at that time.
It could have been, yes.
Could there have been someone standing outside the door?
Yes, it could have been.
When you saw the person, were you studying the person?
No.
How long of a time did you have to take a glimpse of that person?
5-10 seconds, maybe.
Okay. Now, I want to ask you some questions about the
Yeah,
entire
sir.
time you were parked at the foot of the driveway until the point that you left Fairview. From when you first stopped at the driveway at Fairview until the point that you left and were no longer in front of that property, did you ever see any person get out of that SUV that was in front of you?
No, I did not, sir.
Did you ever see anybody, any man, ever cross the front yard towards that home?
No, I did not, sir.
Did you ever see any man ever enter or stand in that front door?
No, I did not, sir.
Did you ever see anybody walk across the front yard to the side door?
I'll allow it.
I'll allow it.
No, I did not, sir.
Did you ever see anybody enter that side door other than your sister?
No, I did not, sir.
As you were parked at the driveway,
Did you ever see anybody enter your
the
sister?
entire time, that generally 5-minute time, did you ever see anybody get out?
But he also said that he wasn't looking at it. He was looking at his sister. He was talking to his sister. He's involved in a conversation with his sister. You're not necessarily going to notice somebody get out of the car. All right, I'm done with this weirdo.
Fairview at about the same time?
Yes, sir.
So now we got Inetti. Inetti comes up to do the cross. All
The
right.
black SUV appeared to be going at a safe speed.
Yes.
It appeared to be properly staying within its lane. It was okay for the black SUV to cut in front of it, correct?
Yes, sir.
And he actually did have his left blinker on at that time, correct? Prior
Yes,
to
sir.
doing that? And the black SUV had its right directional on, correct?
Yes, sir.
And when both cars have their directionals on, indicating they're going down the same street, the black SUV did not suddenly cut in front of Ricky's vehicle until the flashing of the lights, correct?
Correct, sir.
Both cars appeared to be operating safely, correct?
Correct, sir.
And
whoop, 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 whoop.
Once the lights were flashed, there was nothing about the operation of that black SUV.
David Guetta doing that siren
told
over
you
there?
that the driver appeared to be confused about what the flashing meant, correct?
Correct, sir.
The black SUV didn't hesitate at that time. It just proceeded on to Fairview in front of you, correct?
Correct, sir.
And it did so in a safe manner.
Correct, sir. Correct, sir.
You could also see the grass on the lawn.
Yeah, for the most part, yes.
Only just starting to accumulate on the grass, correct? Please. Street at all.
Correct, sir.
May I have the map displayed, please?
Is it in evidence already, Ms. Giannetti?
Gosh, she
may we
sounds
approach-
pissed.
Okay.
All right, here we go. We do have a couple super tips real quick.
I have a micro.
More like an. Our specialty will be.
Okay.
Can you enlarge that, please?
Nick and his super tips is
Actually,
a whole nother.
You know what?
That's a
You
whole
can
nother
enlarge
world.
it, so you don't have to show Chapman. Just show Cedar Crest and Fairview, and maybe pull it in a little bit to the right now. Direction.
All right, so we're getting the directions
Passenger
down.
compartment of the F-150.
Repeat that, please. Sorry.
Sure. When she did come out, she approached the F-150, correct?
Correct, sir.
And you were in the passenger's compartment, right?
Correct, sir.
You opened up the passenger's door, correct?
Correct, sir.
And she sort of, you stayed in the vehicle, right?
Correct. I never left.
And she came sort of into like the crook of the door and the passenger's compartment.
Yes, sir.
All right. You had a chance. How close did she get to you?
Oh yeah, no, they
I
do.
could have popped on her nose if I wanted to.
Okay. And you had a chance to observe her.
That's how close were you to her? Oh, I could have punched her in the face. I know that's not what he said, but come on.
Get to you.
I could have popped on her nose if I wanted to.
Okay. And you had a chance to observe her and size her up, correct?
Correct, sir.
The discussion about whether she'd actually take the ride, right?
Correct, sir.
Really thought was unnecessary, correct?
I wouldn't say it'd be unnecessary. It's just a common question.
Pulled out.
Correct, sir.
His direction of travel on the left, correct?
Correct, sir.
And you were in the front passenger seat at that time still, correct?
Correct, sir.
So you were closest to the black SUV of the people that were in your vehicle as you passed it, correct?
Correct, sir, yes.
And you were closest to the driver's side of the black SUV, correct?
Correct, sir.
You noticed that the interior dome light was on, correct?
That is correct, sir.
That lit up the whole front.
The entire front compartment was lit up.
Yes.
It lit up the driver's seat and the passenger seat, correct?
All I could see was the driver at the time, sir.
Understood. But the light wasn't.
Yeah,
just
Mandy fan. I
shining
think
just
I'm
on the
okay
driver.
there.
It wasn't pointed at the driver.
I would say they were both lights that go down at both seats, correct? They were on.
Yes. Okay. So you could see both seats in the front driver's compartment.
I couldn't
correct?
see past the woman.
Well, you only saw one.
I only
person.
saw a woman. Sorry.
Must have been a big woman.
Yes.
No problem. It allowed you to see into that front compartment.
Yes.
All right. And you saw one person inside the car at that time.
Correct, sir.
It was a woman with long hair in the driver's seat, correct?
Correct, sir.
And she looked like she was alone.
Yes.
You didn't see anybody else in the SUV.
No, I did not, sir.
You certainly didn't see a 6'1" man in the SUV in the passenger seat, correct?
Correct, sir.
In fact, you saw that the passenger seat was empty.
Correct.
Why? What kind of reaction to a question is that? Like, it's almost like credulity. It's almost like you saw the passenger seat was empty. Correct. But he says correct. I saw the freaking passenger seat empty. There was nobody in the car.
Was empty.
Correct.
Why would you ask that question?
This guy looks like his lifelong dream is to have a chopped salad food truck.
The woman in the passenger seat.
No, we have romaine.
Was staring.
We got
straight
bib
ahead,
lettuce.
correct?
We got arugula.
Not in the passenger
The
seat.
spring
I'm
mix.
sorry,
Driver's seat.
Thank you for catching that. The woman in the driver's seat was staring straight ahead.
That is correct, sir.
You didn't see her lips moving as if she were talking, correct?
I wasn't looking for that.
But
Just
you
happened to
did-
see a woman figure with her hands like this.
Okay. Facing straight.
Correct, sir.
You had no music on in Ricky's truck.
Okay, so that's basically the testimony. He didn't see anybody in the car. It's 12:30. They get there right around 12:30. It's now he has a couple minute conversation with his sister. It's got to be in the 12:30s. And it could have been on the other side of 12:30. It could be in the 12:28s or 12:27s. We're rough. We do know that she got onto the she logged into the Wi-Fi at John's house at 12:36. There's no denying that. So, okay, let's switch. I'm going to share this tab instead. All right, so we got this guy, Ryan Nagel. He gets done. And then next up is, let's see.
Nine,
we have-
10.
Yes.
No
10 out of
problem.
10 in the chat.
It allowed you to see into
All right. Then we have, what is her name? Heather Maxim. This is Ryan Nagel's ex-girlfriend. So she comes up and she was in the truck.
ultimately Ricky's car.
Recognize?
Yes.
Do you know
I'm
them?
not sure if I understand the
Did
question.
you know who they were?
Do you know them?
No.
Strangers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
When
them.
they
Right.
turned and then Ricky turned after them, how far ahead of Ricky were they?
Maybe 100 feet.
Could you see them the entire time?
No.
When you drove to Fairview, how long did it take after the turn?
A couple minutes.
It took a couple minutes to get from Cedar.
All right, she has no idea what the hell she's talking about. So Cedar Crest is there. From Cedar Crest to the front of 34 Fairview is all of 265 feet. I don't think it took 2 minutes to drive 256 feet. That's a slow roll. That's a slow roll. And then how do you not see the car the entire time? It's straight. It's absolutely straight. There is no. So, yeah, this person's testimony is credible.
Crest to Fairview?
Oh,
That's
maybe.
okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay. When you arrived at Fairview,
She's like, I don't know what street it is. I don't know where we're going. Ryan's sister wanted a ride. I've been drinking. There's a car.
where did Ricky stop?
That pretty much sums it up.
Outside the house on the street.
Do you remember where on the street in relation to the
I
driveway?
grab water.
No.
The other vehicle, the SUV, was it in front of you or behind you when you stopped?
It was in front of us.
When it was in front of you, did you notice anything about the vehicle?
No.
Did you notice anything about its lights?
No.
Did you see whether the interior light, the dome light, was on or off?
I did as we were leaving.
Before you left,
No.
did you ever see that dome light come on?
No.
Did you notice anything about the brake lights?
No.
Did you notice anything about the vehicle's tail lights, whether they were intact or broken?
Nope.
When you arrived at that address, do you know the street address?
I do not.
Okay. When you arrived at that address, what happened next?
All right.
I believe Ryan had reached out to Julie saying, we're here, time to go. And so she had come outside and we had a short conversation and she decided that she was actually going to stay at the house. She had invited us in, but I had said that I didn't want to go inside. I just wanted to go back to the house.
From the time you first arrived at that address and until the time you left, did you ever see anybody get out of the SUV
She's
that
like,
was
I've been
in front
drinking.
of the truck?
I
did
don't want to
not.
go inside.
Did you ever
I
see
don't know these
anybody
people. I just want to go
travel
the fuck
across
home.
the front yard
Yep.
to the doorway from that SUV?
Nope.
Did anybody ever walk by on the street, walk by the truck in front of you or behind your truck and walk on the driveway?
No. Well, besides Julie, sorry.
So Julie is the only person that you saw in the driveway that night?
Yes.
And then you left?
Yes,
When you left, did you drive by the SUV?
we did.
When you drove by, what were you looking at?
Yes, this witness was
My
like,
surroundings.
time to
What
go.
did you see?
I saw the female that I saw beforehand, also still in the car,
Where did you see her?
in the driver's side.
Was there, at that point, any lights on inside the car?
There was, yes.
Which
The
light?
dome lights,
Was the driver's side door open?
not to my knowledge.
Did you see anybody else inside the SUV?
I did not.
Was there anybody else inside the SUV?
She said she didn't see anyone.
Besides the driver, no.
Do you know whether there was anybody else inside the SUV at that time other than the driver?
She just
No.
answered.
Did you look in and study the interior of the SUV?
No.
How long did you look inside the SUV for?
I'm
when you
sure the prosecution's going to argue that at this point, that is when John O'Keefe got out of the SUV, and that's why the dome light went on, and that because of the height of the SUV, they did not see him because the SUV was blocking where he was. But if that's the case, he wants to approach over that question. Calling, they are calling.
All right.
Sarah-
Did we get? Did anybody actually
Order?
do any cross examination of this?
Brennan, your next witness.
Next witness.
Commonwealth calls Katie McLaughlin.
Okay.
Then Julie came out, and it wasn't as simple as her just jumping in the vehicle and leaving, correct?
Correct.
There had to be a discussion,
Right.
right? And she came out to speak to the three of you for about 5 minutes or so,
I'd say.
like a back and forth about who's going where.
Yeah.
So a 5-minute conversation.
And when Ricky was pulling away you looked over to the SUV and you saw that the interior light was lighting up the front compartment, correct?
Correct.
And it was then that you looked over and you saw a female in the driver's seat, correct?
Yes.
You did not see any person in the passenger seat, correct?
Correct.
Julie has
And
not
you certainly
testified
did
yet
not
this case,
see
or this
a
trial.
6-foot-tall off-duty police officer in the SUV at any point on Fairview Road.
Compound.
Correct.
I have nothing further. Thank you.
There we go.
Anything, Mr. Brennan?
All right. So
I
now
don't
we
believe we
have
overlapped in school, and then
we have Julie or Sarah. Sorry, not Julie. This is Sarah Levinson. Now I haven't heard much about her testimony. It's basically the same way. She was one of the ones that went home with Jen McCabe. And so let's see. Let's just get a little bit of her. Maybe we can
Directly to court. So I have no judgment for that because it sucks.
Or junior to you at that time?
one of my good friends.
How long had you known Brian Albert Jr. for?
At that point, probably 8 or 9 years, I would say.
Did you attend school with him?
Yes, high school. It was between 7 and 8 o'clock at night.
Who did you go?
No, you would have to go back outside.
But a floor
So there's
plan
no
would be
door in that family room that leads directly to the
Nice.
garage?
No.
After you walked into the family room, did you stay?
And then Catherine Duty, Emily Fabiano, and Mary Kent all came together.
Are those friends of Brian Jr.'s?
Yes.
Did you know who all of them were?
Yes.
Were you friendly with them?
So I appreciate that he's actually going through these questions. He did not ask.
Mr. Higgins.
So this is the part where we get to where
the
people
glass
come
door to the
home.
front yard?
Yes.
At any point, did you have a chance to look outside that night?
No.
If you're in the living room, the kitchen, can you see where the basement access is?
Yes.
Can you see the backyard door?
Yes.
You mentioned that
So, Mike, we talk about the back door. They talk about the basement and all that. The theory is that this happened in the basement. There's never a question, and the defense doesn't do this either, which is kind of interesting to me, that the defense never actually says, did you see anybody ever go into the basement? And you'll see that Mr. Higgins, Brian Higgins, shows up. Did you see Mr. Higgins the entire time he was there? Did you keep a track of him the entire time he was there?
The young woman that came to see Brian Jr. left.
She didn't say visitors.
They left. Did somebody else?
And the fact that the judge has already ruled that Colin could not have been this is just ridiculous.
The vibe said.
So they can't impeach any of that other evidence that they have that Colin was there later than he claimed he was.
Interlopers. The vibe did not say visitors.
Come to or arrive at Fairview.
That was not the vibe.
After they left, yes.
And who was that?
It was Brian's father. His name is also Brian. Mr. Higgins. Brian's mother came back, his sister Caitlin, and then his aunt Jennifer and his uncle Matt.
If I can just step back just a little time before the adult group showed up.
Yes.
Did any other of Brian Jr.'s cousins come to?
Cousin, there's no clause for. Like, this is the
Father?
Correct.
In his mother's name?
Around midnight.
You mentioned that you saw Brian Albert. Is that Brian Albert Jr.'s father?
Correct.
In his mother's name?
Nicole.
You also mentioned a person by the
That
name
was
of Brian.
about midnight. What? No.
Like, this is the adult kid table, not the kid table.
Came to the house. Do you
But
know
she
about
said
what
no.
time that was?
Around midnight.
You mentioned that you saw Brian Albert. Is
later
that
than midnight.
Brian Albert Jr.'s father?
Correct.
In his mother's name?
Nicole.
You also mentioned a person by the name of Brian Higgins. Did you know him from before that night?
No.
Did you meet him that night?
Yes.
Are you now familiar with who he is and what he looks like from that night?
Yes.
There was somebody else you said, Brian Jr.'s aunt and uncle?
Yes, and then his sister,
His aunt and uncle, what are their names?
Jennifer and Matt McCabe.
Did you know Mrs. McCabe from before that night?
Somewhat.
Had you ever socialized with her?
I don't believe so. I knew who she was. I don't know if she knew my name, but I think she knew I was Brian's friend.
Business. Of course the teens know who she is. She's coaching everything. She's at everything. She's got 4 kids. They know exactly who she is. I forget her kids' names, but it's like, oh, that's so-and-so's mom. Because she's always around. They know. They know exactly who she is. You know at this age exactly who the parents are that are around in everybody's business. You know.
Yes.
They know.
Was that in relation to spending time with Brian Jr.?
Yes.
To Fairview first, as far as the adult group.
Yes.
Who?
Mr. Albert, Brian's dad, and Mr. Higgins.
And who came next?
Next, I think they all kind of walked in together. Caitlin, Nicole, Jennifer, and Matt.
Other than you, Julie, and Brian Albert Jr., had the young group left at that point?
Yes.
Yeah, so
After that group arrived.
So they all left.
Why did you decide to stay? Did you want to stay?
Yeah, I didn't mind.
Did the night continue?
It was Brian's birthday.
Julie
It was
came
past
back in and
midnight.
spoke to her brother?
Whoop, whoop.
Yes.
Was the mood any different than it had been the entire night?
No.
Anything extraordinary or remarkable happen inside that house?
No.
After Julie went out and spoke to her brother and came back in the house, did
Chad, now you're
anybody
just being
else
How does this, I mean,
come inside the house?
I mean, I realize they're trying to set up this whole he never was in the house thing, but I mean, she never went to the basement. She doesn't know who was in the basement. Yeah, of course she never heard anything. Of course there was no thing, but yeah.
House other than everybody who was already there celebrating Brian Jr.'s birthday?
No.
Did you ever see another man or woman you didn't know come into that house?
No.
At some point,
yeah.
But we'll see if we get there. She's like, no.
Stands out.
1 a.m.
Yes.
Been drinking?
As you
Fuck yes.
drove out of
Throw me a
Fairview,
sandwich.
you were in the McCabe vehicle was in the driveway?
Yes.
Did it back out or go out forward?
No, backed out.
When it backed out and began to drive away, what side of the vehicle was closest to Fairview?
You mean the house?
Yes. Was it I'm sorry. Was it the passenger side of
Luna 3120 said, gotta get milk, bread, eggs. Apparently it is the only appropriate snowstorm food is to have French toast because it is immediately what sells out in Middle Tennessee. If this is different, like Florida for hurricanes, do y'all see? Snow is out. The first thing, milk, bread, eggs. Nobody's told me why. You need like MRE. Get a heads up with the storms. And I think Michigan is just like, the wine gets very thin.
Was that the time you were having conversations? During those moments when you were, or Mr. McCabe was driving towards the flagpole, was that the time you were having conversations about the bread or was that a different time?
That was a different time.
What was happening as you were
They're talking about Jen McCabe's bread.
Driving past that
in
area
her
in front of the house.
I believe maybe I was on my phone, and then Julie said something.
Did you ever look
Julie
out the
said
window
something.
near the front yard, near the flagpole area?
Oh yeah, no, she's
not.
She didn't say what Julie said because it's hearsay because it would generally be offered for the truth of the matter asserted, not just to say what Julie said and Julie will be called to testify. She was probably also told, testify what you heard, what you saw, what you did. Do not tell us what other people said. And he has cut her off once as she was explaining another conversation and kind of redirected away from the hearsay. So that's why I think she was mindful of saying, and then Julie said something.
Yeah, and this is going to be the Julie saw the black blob on the lawn.
Like at the front yard, but a little
She
ways
never
up
actually
the street.
said that in any other
Next to
time
34
except
Fairview, up the street
for
is
the
32
trial
Fairview.
So
last
she looked
year.
out the window up the street.
I believe
Oh
so.
my
Yeah.
God.
When you looked out the window, the first time you looked out the window, what were you facing in relation to 32, 34 Fairview? What could you see?
There's like a little bit of woods in between the two houses, so it was the trees.
Did you notice anything that stood out?
No.
So
Ultimately,
how do these people not see this when they walk out of the house? How do they not see a guy laying on the freaking lawn? How? Tell me how. Why did you not go to? Hang on. I want to do. I got my little man. Okay, there we go. All right. Blurry damn house. Why blur the house? That's what I don't understand, Google. Except for one freaking picture. One freaking picture you don't blur of 34 Fairview. One. Oh, and now I can't get there. Now it's freezed up on me. Why? Oh my goodness. Can I get the one picture we can see the house? Oh yeah, there we okay, finally. My goodness. You come out the front steps. You come out the front steps. They even talked about what steps she came out of. See if I can find that part. Oh, I was Brennan had asked her.
Thing was white.
did you leave by the
That's
front
fair.
door or the side door?
The front.
You remember that?
Yes.
Was
It
there
was
any type
sticking.
of hazard or difficulty with you walking?
Julie and I walked out together down like the front stoop stairs.
Front door or side door? We went out the front door. We went out the front door and we walked down. You're 30 feet away from a guy laying on the yard and nobody sees him. Nobody. How does that make any sense? And not only is he not by the curb, you heard earlier that he's 8 to 10 feet in. He's 8 to 10 feet into the yard. Let's see. Can I do measurement here? No. But we can if we get out of. Oh, you stupid thing. All right. We come down the stairs. We are 43 feet. 43 feet. That's it. And if he's, let's say he's 8 feet in. You know, that's where his head's going to be right there. So we're looking at less than 40 feet that you have to see. And you don't see a person laying on the freaking lawn.
And I remember we were arm in arm.
Ooh, we have a dream. Oh, look at that. That's some REM sleep right there. Now it looks like the dream is settling away. Oh, funny. Dog, funny sleep. Well, still a little bit of twitchy going on there. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I just heard the little bark, the little dog dream bark there for a second. I'm like, I think we have a dreamer dog.
I was
As one
wearing
does.
shoes that didn't really have traction, so I was looking at my feet, so I didn't slip.
So there's always an excuse on to why you weren't looking out in the yard.
Who's been there? It's going to snow and you're going to slip and fall. And she had talked about the fact that her mom told her those are not the shoes to go out in. It was pretty, and then parachuted into Massachusetts, and I was not.
Stands out.
1 a.m.
Yes.
Been drinking?
As you
Fuck yes.
drove out of
Throw me a
Fairview,
sandwich.
you were in the McCabe vehicle was in the driveway.
Friendship has percolated into into adulthood.
Yes.
You obviously know much of the entire immediate family. Brian Albert Sr., his wife Nicole Albert, correct?
Yes.
You know his uncle Chris Albert.
Yes.
You're familiar with his wife Julie Albert.
Yes.
Obviously Brian Albert and
Big family.
His cousins. By the way, which cousins are they? Last names.
Do I know?
Right.
There's the Alberts, and then there's the Galvins, the Reardons, and the McCabe's.
Okay.
The big family.
You indicated
Big
that
family.
you've been to the Albert home probably at 34 Fairview. That's what.
All right. So why is it doing that?
The home I'm talking about.
This is kind of interesting here.
Probably you estimated at least 20 times, correct?
Over the years, yes.
Over the years.
She's been there
And
20
you've
times
known
over the years.
Brian Albert for, since high school. I mean, in the last 8, 10,
I mean,
12
they
years.
probably knew each other
You've been to the house to and from.
before that.
Yes.
You've never met, or you had never met, going into January 29th, 2022. You had never met their dog, had you?
Their dog?
Their dog.
I
Just gotta slipping this in to the evidence, right? So slipping in that she's been there 20 times, never met the dog. This is foundational for later.
All right, chat. All of you have been asking, who's going to ask about the dog? There we go. You've never met the dog. This is a good line of questioning about the dog.
You've never met, or you had never met, going into January 29th, 2022. You had never met
backed
their
it up.
dog, had you?
their dog?
Their dog.
I'm not completely sure.
Didn't you testify about a year ago in another proceeding that although you had been to the Albert home many times, you had never actually met the dog?
If that's what it says I said, then yes.
Is that because the dog... Do you know why you hadn't met Chloe? Is that because the dog was not really good with strangers? Objection.
It calls for speculation.
Do you know why you hadn't met Chloe? By the way, did you know the dog's name was Chloe?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know why you hadn't met Chloe in all those trips to 34 Fairview?
No.
Just wasn't out and about among the folks that were in the house when you were there?
Yes.
Just like
That's just, I mean, it's their lifetime dog. I mean, you know everybody's
me
dog.
and my friends' dogs and cats, and generally saw them around the house. Sometimes it's like, oh, I'm going to put the dog outside while we're all hanging out. But you know your friends' pets, except if there are working animals in the home. Working animals, you generally don't engage with. They have not established that Chloe is a working animal. They have not talked about the fact that whether or not Chloe was a working animal, but it's a really good line of questioning. So you're really good friends with Brian Albert. You go hang out at his house. You guys are besties. You know his family. You know his cousins. You know his aunts. You know his uncles. You don't know the family pet?
Very good point there. And will be interesting now to try to get that into, how do you fit that into the case?
Okay.
When you left 34 Fairview, I want to follow up very briefly on a couple of things that you said.
Okay,
just
so
before
this is
Mr. Brennan said.
basically the same crap. Then we have Katie McLaughlin. Now, let's see. Somebody showed a picture. Let me see if I can pull it up. Of Katie testifying last year and Katie testifying this year. And of course, it's not coming up on the damn thing. Oh, come on. Man, exit search is just so stupid. All right. Well, I can't find it. It looked like she had pretty close to the same outfit on, but also I just noticed that so last year she had a white shirt. There we go. So trial 1, trial 2. The pendant's different. She's got a cross on the first trial, then she has that on. But this is also looks like it's the light has been messed with, because this looks a lot. That looks a lot, more yellow last year. So I think somebody kind of screwed it. Now it is the same kind of shirt. Kind of, actually, maybe it's not even the same kind of shirt. Maybe somebody's doing somebody might be doing some freaking photoshopping just to get a thing. But then here's one with the cross. So that, I don't know. Oh, that's right. The cross was last year. Oh, and it's the same. I don't know. I'm confused. But anyway, so Katie McLaughlin, she is the one that supposedly heard the I hit him. So let's switch gears and let's get a new. I like sharing everybody's stuff. So here's Katie.
An assigned shift for you?
Yes.
Did you volunteer or ask to work especially that night, or was that?
Was the back step. So there's an engine driver.
That morning around a little.
So I'm in the engine, the command car with the captain who runs the shift. Started to 34 Fairview Road first.
Okay.
And the ambulance.
Actually going to do that right now. Give me 1 second. I got to see it now. You're right. We got to go back and look. I can't tell you with. Okay, that's interesting. There's some kind of standoff going on. Huh.
Hey, can I get one, please?
Shots fired. Ooh.
Yeah, they're moving the U-Haul right there. I want to get the shield in there. Yep.
This is from Califield Lives or Califield Lives.
Yep.
They're live streamers in Bakersfield, California. Bakersfield, California's got like the most live streamers ever. Like there's like 8 different live streaming crews that go out in Bakersfield, and a lot of them just capture the same shit because there's a lot of craziness going on in Bakersfield, I guess. But anyway. All right, so they're pulling a U-Haul out.
They were gonna bring me gifts, guys. Wow.
So there's a U-Haul truck, I guess, in the way. So they're backing the U-Haul truck up. Huh.
Alex, the only one that has the clearest camera.
Interesting.
There's nobody else on. Yeah, I know a couple other guys are out right now too.
And it did say something about shots being fired, so it looks like there's all right, keep an eye
So
on
right now
that.
they're moving a U-Haul, so that way they can get the Bearcat closer, guys.
All right, let's find last trial, Emily B. Baker.
Yeah, so that way they can pull the Bearcat.
We'll keep this on while I search. Okay.
Oh no, we're live. I'm talking to the camera. Yeah, can you hear me talking? We are? Yeah, I'm live on YouTube right now. Yeah, I'm not.
All right, playlist.
Oh yeah, I follow you. Thank you. Yeah, a lot of people think they're like, is this for talking himself or what?
Playlist, let's see. There's got to be Karen Reed.
Yeah, I know. We got almost 3K people watching, bro.
Playlist for right.
Need a girl on a day? How romantic.
Karen Reed post mistrial.
Yeah, we got the best.
Okay, here we go. 2024. All right. We open the beautiful playlist. Okay. I will share it when we get there. Okay.
They're gonna fucking push us back out of here. But it's the back house. So we're not able to see their operation.
May 3rd, I'm not going to be streaming tomorrow, so May the 4th be with you in advance. Replay crew, love you. All the timestamps will be down below.
All
we need to talk about scheduling today. It is day 4 of the comment. That's interesting, isn't it?
Okay, so this was
Ms. Gilman, if I could have exhibit number.
All right, was it day 2? Maybe the first. Maybe she started on day 3. So let's see. Did she finish up day 3? Yes. Okay, that was 2 different days. Thank you very much. It is. Oh, there it is. Okay. White shirt. All right. I'm seeing it now. There were 2 days that she testified. She started on day 3 last time. She finished the afternoon on day 3. And then she came in and testified on day 4. So let's see. Very much the same outfit, except for the chain. So we've got the white shirt with the kind of faux color or faux tank or turtleneck. And then you've got this one, which was, okay, that's why. So it was 2 days. So the first day she was wearing that kind of cream colored shirt. Second day she's wearing this white shirt. And then she wears the same thing on the next day. Crazy. All right. So we get into her testimony.
Did you know at that time who lived at 34th?
We went through her you know, her professional, whatever she is. She's a firefighter and a paramedic. And then we keep having to go through this siren thing.
Yes. Not just the headlights, they have the lights that are often referred to as blue lights or overhead lights.
Yes.
Did you hear any sirens?
No.
Because we talked about there was all this pandemonium going on right outside of Brian Albert's bedroom. So I guess it is the Commonwealth's idea that, well, because there was no sirens, there wasn't very loud. I guess that's what they're saying.
How about the ambulance? Did the ambulance have emergency lights?
Yes.
Did you hear any sirens?
No.
The fire truck. Does the fire truck have emergency lights?
Yes.
Do you remember if those were activated?
Yep.
Does the fire engine have a siren?
Yes.
Was the siren activated?
No.
Why not?
Okay. I'll scroll through there in a
We only use the
bit.
sirens to
I know
kind of
Paul has
clear
moved. He's not in his
cars out of the
normal
road.
spot.
So there's no need to use a siren when there's no cars on the road. So we're not just doing it in the middle of the morning to wake everybody up. It's just unnecessary.
When you first.
So, okay. Why did I do that? Oh my God. I cannot.
McCabe.
All right, let me go back.
Vehicles have lights on.
I'll get there.
Remember if those were activated?
There's no need
Okay,
to use a
back.
siren when
Sorry.
there's no cars
Clicking
on the
buttons.
road. So we're not just doing.
Yeah, I know Paul has gotten moved again.
Did some of your colleagues?
Yes.
After you brought the stretcher or the bed to the side of the road,
Oh, he's not allowed to be in the rest of that in that seat. I'm hopefully after the trial. I mean, it's not the biggest, most important thing, but I still would like to know after the trial why he got moved. Was it a jury member, or was it him making comments? Was it actually? I mean, because he's made comments the whole entire, both trials. This isn't a new thing. Now, were they just accelerating their bad humor and if you're getting away with something, you're going to push the limits and see how much you can get away with. So, was it something where he was just trying to see how much he could get away with, and then he finally pushed too much and couldn't get away with it anymore? So I'm wondering if that's the case. Very much so. So yes, we'll scroll through here the footage to see if
They
we can
lifted
find
him
something.
on the backboard. They put him on the stretcher, and then
Okay, so this is talking about that. So now we go to the I hit him. This was last time. She said that Karen Reed said, I hit him 3 times in a row, just like that. Same thing that not all said in this trial today. So actually, let's go back to last year. I want to hear this for the record. Oh, and it's doing that stupid thing where it won't do them more. Okay. Bear with me. Bear with me. Okay, so this is 2024. And we're going to
want to be.
I want to be very clear.
And with respect to
Happened before this.
what, if anything, did she say?
So she said, I hit him. She repeated it. There was a woman standing across from her who I believe at that point said, you're hysterical. You need to calm down. You're hysterical. She repeated, I hit him. And there was a police officer who was in that vicinity kind of with us who replied, you what? She repeated it one more time. And that officer.
So Nuttall said that she repeated it 3 times. I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. She said, and this is kind of, I thought it was a little bit more, but this is kind of what she
So at that point, I asked her if there had been any significant trauma that happened before this.
What, if anything, did she say?
So she said, I hit him. She repeated it. There was a woman standing across from her who I believe at that point said, you're hysterical. You need to calm down. You're hysterical. She repeated, I hit him. And there was a police officer who was in that.
Yeah. The only difference today now, she says,
happened before this.
Times.
What, if anything, did she say?
So she said, I hit him.
And with respect to, and so after asking and receiving that answer of I hit him, where did you go?
So I went to the ambulance.
Okay, so that's today. Or I'm sorry. That was 2024. Now let's see what she says about 2025. All right, let's see. Mm. Mhm. So pretty similar to what she said last time. So this is during cross. Here now we get into the cross part of it. So now it's changed to 4 times. It was I hit him. And that's what Nuttall said. That's what Flamati said. Now it's I hit him, and then McCabe interjects, and then she says I hit him again, and then the cop says you what? And his cop, I hit him. So then he gets into he gets into word gesticulating. I don't know if that got covered up. And then this part of it is when, oh, nope, damn it. So then they get into a little bit of her relationship with Caitlin Albert, and she they won't let him introduce those pictures though. Why does everybody also, so most people, a lot of people in Canton or in Massachusetts can't say W sound without adding an R, SAR. Then they say ka. But what is the noise? They all do that noise. What is that? All right, let's see. So now we get some pictures. She's still saying she's not friends with Caitlin Albert. She's still trying to say that she is not friends with Caitlin Albert. There they are. Here's some of the pictures of them together in a freaking their room, her roommate's apartment. I mean, come on. Right there, right behind Caitlin Albert, Katie McLaughlin. We're not friends.
Friend group, did you?
No.
You didn't say we've been friends since high school.
No.
You said, and I went to high school with someone named Caitlin Albert.
Uh-oh. Yes.
Almost as if you just saw her name in a yearbook.
No, I don't agree with that.
That's not true, is it? I mean, that wouldn't be true, correct? Because you did know Caitlin Albert.
That is true. And you asked me if I knew her, and I said yes. And you asked me if I'm friends with her, and I said I wouldn't say friends.
You wouldn't say friends.
Right.
Even as you sit here today, you would not say that you're friends with Caitlin Albert.
No.
You wouldn't say that you've been friends for years.
We've known each other for years.
That wasn't my question.
We've known each other for years, but we're not.
There was one point where she gets way deep into the semantics. I got to find that. So bear with me because it's not going to let me search the whole thing.
Follow-ups.
And in fact, you were shown some of these photographs.
So this was here we go.
Did that refresh your recollection as to what your answer was to the question?
So this was about a question about, you know, their relationship. So
Caitlin Albert, asked by me.
I don't remember specifically what I said.
Did you say, I went to high school with someone named Caitlin Albert?
yeah, so back in 2024, when she was on this stand, she says, "Do you know?" It came out. Did you know Caitlin Albert? And she says, "I went to high school with someone named Caitlin Albert." Made it sound like that was it. That she had no idea who this Caitlin Albert person was. There's photograph after photograph of them partying together. She knows exactly who Caitlin Albert is. So listen to this here coming up here.
May 3rd transcript, 10-24, lines 2 and 3.
Yes. Okay. Do you want to, or do you want me to? I'm kind of busy. Yep. Yep. Hang on. All right. Hang on a second. I'm going to go to this. Give me a moment while I get some dinner ordered. Okay. I will be back in a second. Okay, I'm back. Stream deck for the win. Are they any closer? We got the Bearcat out, it looks like. They've got, I don't know what the heck that is. That's some kind of crazy. What are they doing? Is there anybody else ordering this? Oh, it's a bulletproof shield. Okay. And it's like Alley Field's all-in-one policy. Okay, so. All right, so with another angle of the bulletproof shield. So I guess we will see.
You're good, Alex.
So yeah, all right, come back later. All right, so I have no idea who this person is. I went to high school kind of with somebody named that name, but I don't know. So they're like,
I went to high school with someone named Caitlin Albert.
I believe so.
Refresh your recollection, take a look at your transcript.
Sure.
so he's refreshing her recollection here.
I have made 3. Okay, thank you, Brennan. Did that refresh your recollection as to what your answer was to the question, who's Caitlin Albert?
Yes.
Did you say, quote, I went to high school with somebody named Caitlin Albert?
Yes.
Laughlin, that was not a full and accurate statement of your relationship with Caitlin Albert, correct?
I object.
Was that accurate?
I mean, that's a fact. That's
Okay, next question.
And then the fact that Canoni lets him get away with this, he lets him not actually enter these pictures. There's, he tried to get these pictures introduced as evidence, but she wouldn't allow the pictures to come in. No matter what he tried to establish foundations on them, they had a very long sidebar about this. He's not allowed to bring these in, even though she, in direct examination, Brendan brought up the relationship with Caitlin Albert. So how is that not? How are you not allowed to impeach? How are you not allowed to impeach a witness on their testimony if you can't bring in the impeachment pieces? So that's just ridiculous. But and then her equivocation here. Did that refresh your recollection? Well, yeah, it did. And is that what you said? Yes, but that's not exactly your relationship with her. That's not a true and accurate portrayal of your relationship, right? Well, it is a fact. I did go to high school with him. Don't you think the jury, especially the jury, when they see something like that, when they see that equivocation, same thing with Jen McKay, all of these witnesses have got these little equivocations, all these little things where it's like, I got to explain myself a little bit. So all of these things, this has to play out for the jury. It just has to.
What your answer was to the question, who's Caitlin Albert?
yes.
Did you say, quote, I went to high school with somebody named Caitlin Albert?
Yes.
Laughlin, that was not a full and accurate statement of your relationship with Caitlin Albert, correct?
I object.
Was that accurate?
I mean, that's a fact. That's
Okay, next question.
I mean, that's a fact. What?
All right, I'd like to be seen.
Oh, what's the problem, Square? Sidebar of what could come in when it
Another
comes to this.
sidebar.
But happened here, but I had it out there. Let me see where I left off.
knew her and I.
That's not true.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Almost as if you just since high school are in the same friend group, did you?
No.
You didn't say we've been friends since.
Oh, listen to how shitty she gets with him too. Listen to this. This is great.
Did you?
We're not.
You didn't say that we are in the same friend group, did you?
No.
You didn't say we've been friends since high school.
Oh, wait. Yep. Miss McLaughlin, you didn't say that you were actually friends with her, did you?
No.
Miss McLaughlin, that you didn't say that you had the same friend group, right?
I did not.
Miss McLaughlin, this is not really a true and accurate portrayal of your relationship with Caitlin Albert, just to say that you went to the same high school together.
Well, that's a fact.
Yeah, I got to use it. I got to use my angry girl voice because there's a bunch of angry girls in this trial.
No.
I went to high school with someone named Caitlin Albert.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Almost as if you just saw her name in a yearbook.
No, I don't agree with that.
That's not true, is it? I mean, that wouldn't be true, correct? Because you did know Caitlin Albert.
That is true. And you asked me if I knew her, and I said yes. And you asked me if I'm friends with her, and I said I wouldn't say friends. Knew her, and I said yes.
She's lying. She's absolutely
And you
freaking
asked me if I'm
lying.
friends with her, and I said I wouldn't say friends.
You wouldn't say friends.
Right. Correct.
Went to the same high school together.
Yes.
You socialized with her.
Yes.
You've taken day trips with her and others.
Yes.
You've taken beach trips with her and others.
Yes.
You've taken
I don't remember that, but
one of your best friends named Michaela actually lived with Caitlin Albert at college, didn't she?
One of your best friends lived with Caitlin Albert at college in an apartment.
Yes.
You visited your best friend at that residence where she lived with Caitlin Albert on more than one occasion, didn't you?
Yeah, occasionally I would go to visit the friends that I had there.
You would even spend the night in the apartment with them, correct?
Maybe a handful of times, yes.
You've taken photographs.
It's so ridiculous. Why can't you just say, I mean, oh my God.
How things don't.
Okay, so here we go. There's Peggy. Peggy was there today. I just happened to click that thing. Look at that. So it does look like Peggy was there today. Paul, though, is completely over here now. Oh, yeah, no, exactly. Yep. Let's see. Let's see. Are we in a sidebar again, or are we at?
Your Honor, may I approach?
All right, let's see. Da-da.
Alexa, stop. Years, it goes back a decade or more.
Yeah, let's find that.
Follow-ups.
And in fact,
You know, I can't believe she
My
wouldn't let him
only
get this.
memory is
do you have a memory or do you answer the question, please?
I don't really get the question.
Can you answer that question?
I don't understand the question.
Ask it again.
Sure. Are you saying, as you sit here now, that you have a memory of how that interview was set up, and it was by a master?
Yeah. So then she denies ever talking to Kevin Albert about setting up the interview.
Correct.
People are
Was he leaving something out when he was showing you that, asking you questions?
Sustained.
When he asked you about whether you knew Caitlin Albert, and you said you went to high school with her, did you immediately then answer questions describing that relationship?
Correct.
Watch the phone.
Money.
Yeah. I mean, all right. So
So this would become a homicide investigation?
My job, and I didn't feel comfortable doing it. I won't ever forget those statements. My
Yeah,
job,
let's-
and I didn't feel comfortable doing it.
Write those statements down on your glove?
No.
Then how do you remember she made those statements?
I won't ever forget those statements.
I have no further questions.
Anything, Mr. Jackson?
Very briefly.
Come on, AJ.
Yes.
An emotional scene.
Yes. Yes.
Scene that was upsetting.
Yes.
A lot of people,
Yes.
for a lot of reasons. Right?
they also got in a lot of the.
And that's when things start getting missed. When emotion starts playing a role, correct? That's when details start getting missed.
I guess it depends on the situation.
Right, but this was a disturbing, emotional, upsetting scene even for you, correct?
I felt that for a civilian to see it, it was very disturbing for them.
Probably wasn't great for you either, was it?
It's not.
Yeah. And your testimony.
Yeah. Anyway, this. All right. Then we had one more silly witness today. And now we're starting to get back into. Now we finally get to see some leaf blowing. All right. So now we have retired Police Lieutenant Paul
Blank,
Gallagher.
followed that process.
Is that one of the officers?
So
Winter gear there,
talks about
including a
how he-
reflective jacket that I thought would be helpful, given it was dark out. Visibility was very bad.
When you got to the Canton Police Department, did you learn anything from any of your colleagues while at the police department?
The only one colleague at the police department at that time was Officer Kelly Dever.
After you got your gear at the Canton Police Department, did you head towards Fairview?
I did.
Other than the general description that you had heard, did you know anything about what was going on there?
Just that a gentleman was found unconscious in the snow, possibly not breathing.
You mentioned the term unintended death. What does that mean?
An unattended death is a death where someone dies alone, and you don't know the reason. It doesn't mean there's foul play. In fact, 99% of the time, it's natural causes.
Is there a process for the Canton Police Department when they learn of any death, unintended or not? Is there a process you need to follow?
Yes, there is.
And what is that process?
That's to call the Norfolk County DA's office, their CPAC unit, Crime Prevention and Control. They have jurisdictions over deaths and unattended deaths.
Okay, this goofball. I really want to know why. I really want to know what got him into timeout. Okay, so we get Mr. Paul. Then we get the Brennan just tries to play this. So this is where the leaf blower and the solo cups come in. And he just tries to play it off like this is a normal process of business.
I did.
And what did you conclude?
Because of the blood, the pink spots I thought might be blood. I thought a leaf blower would be the best method because I have seen it used and to remove light layers of snow, and it can be controlled.
And after having seen that before and making that decision, what was the benefit of a leaf blower over a shovel?
I wasn't going to miss anything with a leaf blower, much better control.
And control, tell us what your intention, what was your hope with the leaf blower?
To clear the area, controlled, slowly.
Area. Why do these people make such weird noises and why do they add R's to almost everything?
With the leaf blower.
To clear the area, controlled, slowly.
To clear the area.
So any potential evidence of what happened to Mr. O'Keefe wouldn't be lost.
Did you have a leaf blower?
Unless you blew it away.
Did not.
Yeah, that's just what I was going to say. Unless you blow
Sergeant
it
Good
away.
volunteered to go get the leaf
the
blower.
evidence won't
Get a
get
leaf
lost.
blower.
Well,
Did you
unless
remain
you
at the scene?
blow it away.
And during this time, are you still
Oh my God.
have no information
All right,
that it's
so-
a crime scene?
We had no information on demonstrate its effectiveness.
I'm going to move to introduce.
Good old leaf blower videos, right? When they start leaf blowing, no big spot. Remember Carrie?
Can we show number one, please?
Look at that. Look at that. No bare ground. No big.
It's not even really blowing anything, though. I mean, it's not. If you have now, I know a little bit about snow because I live in the Arctic. I live in the actual Arctic, where on most winters there is actually snow. This last winter, not so much. We did not have much snow. A frog in my throat. So there is all different kinds of snow. There's not just one kind of snow. There are multiple kinds of snow. There is dry snow when it's cold, when it's like probably in the 10 to 20 degree range. You have cold snow, which has less humidity in it. It's lighter, it's fluffier, it moves around more. And then as the temperature goes up, you start getting more and more humidity in it. Humidity is a bad word. It's heavier. It's wetter. It's more water mixed in there. You have, it's all water. Obviously, it's all frozen water, but it comes down completely differently. And so if you have, they're saying the temperature was in the mid 20s. This is going to be kind of intermediate, but on the heavier side of snow. And as you can see with this freaking leaf blower, it's not really blowing that much snow away.
Sir, who's the person holding? Stop at the end of the video so it's a still frame.
That's pieces of taillight.
I mean, you're blowing like leaves away and stuff, but
Could you, Ms. Gilman, stop at the end of the video so it's a still frame? Sir, who's the person holding the leaf blower?
That is me.
All right.
Did the leaf blower work as you had hoped?
It was great.
You see.
All right, so I need to get this for our Control Alt print screen. As of right now, we are going to pause what we're doing here. And we're going to fix our thumbnail because we finally have leaf blower. So let's see. Let's open up. There we go. Actually, you got it right there. And let me share this screen with you. And it won't let me. Okay, so we don't need. I can just share the thumbnail. Looks like. Because we don't need audio for the thumbnail. So, and then I can shrink it down a little bit. So it fits on the screen better. There we go. Okay. I don't need that right now. Okay, so we've got leaf blower. Actually, open. I want the house too. And I can get that from the original thing. Maybe. Oh man, where's my original? Somewhere in here is my original screen. Nope, not there. Well, bummer. Okay. All right, where does hide? I hit print screen, but now I don't know where that shows up at. All right. Where does print screens go? screenshot. Okay, is there a screen? Oh yeah, there is a screenshot. Okay. Ooh, there's lots of them. Okay, we need details because we need to find today's. And mirror. I know I did it right. I know I hit the right button. Okay. All right. Let's try it again. Control Alt print screen. Did that do it? Or might I have to do it a different way? Probably have to do it a different way. Yep. Okay. But we have the power. We'll just do a screen grab. And that way I can just get what I want anyway. All right, fine. Fine, I'll do it this way. Save. You're gonna make me do it the hard way. Screens, leaf blower. All right. So now back to our thing. And then we will, let's see, can I just throw it in there? Nope, I want to open it actually because I want to remove some of the background. Yeah, no, actually, I think I want that in there. See what it looks like. Oh, yeah. Get rid of that. Okay, now let's try opening it on its own. Open with, choose another app. It should be the beta one. There we go. Okay. All right, what happens if we remove the background? That removes too much. Okay, let's undo that. Let's just cut it then. All right, and let's see how this does. That sucks too. All right, we need to straighten this out a little bit. I thought it was going to be easy. All right, let's make it straight. Straight as we can. Do that. Now let's do the marquee. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, and then nope. Shit. And then I just want to delete what's outside of this. So maybe it'll just paste in. Yeah, there we go. Okay. And then we're going to put this last. Put that behind old Hanky boy. Yes, I think right there does good. Let's blow Hanky's hair. There we go. We're going to leaf blow some Hanky here. That's the perfect spot for it. Right there. Right there on Hanky's head. All right. Perfect. Yep, I like it. All right, that is the next iteration of our thumbnail. So let's go ahead and export it. Thumbnail number 3. All right, save. And then save as. .3. All right. Okay. Now back to. Oh, I guess the thing is over. Maybe.
That's right, bro. What do you got on? HDMI? I think it's the mini HDMI. That's fine. I got all the wiring.
Califield left. Califield left.
Yeah. You can get out. And I mean, I'll jump start him after the tear gas goes away.
All right, who knows? Another stupid California day. Another dumb day in California.
We'll see.
All right, that's okay. These pictures. All right, where were we? All right. Okay. Now we got leaf blower.
Other footprints around that area.
Correct.
Do you know how those footprints got there?
Some of them were from first responders. Some of them were for witnesses. The ones up top by the flagpole were for when the officers put out the crime scene tape.
Did officers try to wrap the crime scene tape around the flagpole?
They did wrap it around the flagpole, yes.
I see. And from that vantage point, could you see the side and front yard?
Yes.
Did the side yard have any footprints or evidence that any, other than Sergeant Lang's footprints across the front yard?
Cocktail glass.
Was it, did it have any?
That is.
Below some of those spots and to the left, there's an area that's not white. It's brownish. Do you know what that is?
That's, I believe, just bare ground.
If we could finish the video, please.
He's trying to get that as the bare ground.
These two photographs and two evidence, please.
Okay, do you want to be 52 and 52?
Case, it was a broken cocktail glass or broken glass.
Yeah,
and once it hits the space fire, it automatically generates a property number for it. And I believe in this case, it was.
It's so ridiculous. And then this time they're just trying to play it off like it's nothing. Like this is just normal operating procedure that you put blood in freaking cups. And then I can't wait to show till they show the picture of the freaking Stop and Shop bag full of Solo cups with blood in them sitting right next to the SUV. I'm just, oh my God.
Seized as evidence.
Was it brought anyway?
So there's a point here too where they bring out the cocktail glass. They bring out the let's see.
This made of the same paper, craft paper, the same size and dimension, other than Stop and Shop and Evidence and probably price. They're basically the same bag.
Why did you use one of those rather than a bag that said Evidence on it?
I don't know where that bag came from. I was in a personal car. Sergeant Lank was in a Tundra. If that bag is upside down, you wouldn't know it didn't say Evidence on it. So I'm not sure where that bag came from.
And the plastic cups, do you know what happened to those?
Yes, they were turned over to the criminalist as well.
Where did you store them before they were turned?
The plastic cups. Plastic freaking Solo cups.
You not?
Correct.
So when you get the containers, were they plastic cups?
Yes, they were red Solo cups.
And what was the purpose of using the red Solo cups?
They were plastic. They weren't going to leak. They weren't going to get soggy. They were large. I needed a small sample. My thought was because it was frozen or coagulated.
You guys all know how much a head wound bleeds. It bleeds a lot, and a lot, and a lot, and a lot. There is no way that little bit of blood that they found on that lawn. Yeah, oh yeah, no, they do a good job of holding liquid and transporting it into my stomach. I've had many a times where I think Jessica Mercado had a little bit. Maybe we'll go look at her stream because she had some. Keep clicking that button. She had some of the jury reaction today, so we'll go check that out. If you know of another one, let me know and we'll look at that.
No.
You were telling us about the leaf.
So, all right, so we get this stupid leaf blower, the stupid glass. Now they bring out this evidence bag. So this is, I mean, it's just freaking comedy.
Did you bring that piece of evidence, the broken glass, with you today?
Yes.
With the court's permission, I'd like to approach the witness.
I suspect Alan's objecting to these because they don't have a chain of custody. And so he doesn't know. He's just saying it was stored there, but they don't have that documented.
So we get to go through this. Now look at the box. It's all got red tape and everything on it.
Let me ask you about that box. It has red tape on it. Why?
It's a secure and transfer of custody.
He honestly just said transfer of custody. I think Andrea is going to interject here.
I'm going
Let's do the theater again. Let's go ahead and put on our gloves and then grab the scissors that have been handled by who knows who. And then let's go through the show of opening up this box and pretending like it's sterile because you have gloves on, even
exactly
though you just touched the scissors that you're going to use to open it up and then reach in the bag and grab stuff out, right? He's going to use his right hand for both of those things. And by the way, after they already did this once in the first trial, handled all the dirty stuff with their gloves, reached in, touched the evidence. But we're going to put the gloves on again because it's a very important part of the theater of the trial.
It is. It's kabuki theater. The gloves have no bearing on anything.
Yes, it could.
All right. So.
Lieutenant, before you open the box, were you one of the officers that discovered that broken glass?
Yes.
Did you personally bring the glass from Fairview to Canton?
No.
Do you know who did?
Yes.
Who?
Detective Sergeant Lang.
Sergeant Lang?
Yes.
When you went back to the station, you said that the evidence was then put into an evidence locker. Did you place it in the evidence locker?
I don't recall.
Oh. Huh.
And then
Weird how there's no log of that.
Those transition.
Purple gloves are not inherently latex gloves,
Is there
not
an item in that
inherently
bag?
sterile.
Would you please open the bag and show us what's in that bag?
So it's in a.
We don't know if he's even inherently latex gloves,
Is there an
not
item in that
inherently
bag?
sterile.
Would you please open the bag and show us what's in that bag?
This is so ridiculous.
We don't know if he's even
This is
wearing
so
sterile gloves.
absolutely freaking ridiculous. Now he's going to cut the bag with the scissors. Oh my god! They're going to have to rebag it.
Look, could you go ahead and rub it on your body a little bit? Reach in with your hand and touch the glass.
Oh my god! It's not. Oh my lord! And then he just. This is so ridiculous. I mean, this is. Oh yeah, this is so ridiculous. What does this prove?
With both hands that you've been rubbing all over these dirty things.
Thank you. If you could put it back in the bag and the bag back in the box, please.
So it sounds like Mr. Jackson's chain of custody objection is.
Was having a medical issue, and we didn't know if he could have.
So it sounds like Mr. Jackson's chain of custody objection is ruling the day so far. It's just being marked. He doesn't have knowledge of it. Lank's the one who, quote unquote, booked it in. And he doesn't know who put it in the
The
locker.
area that was pointed out to you is where John O'Keefe was found. Did you expand across the front lawn into the street during the search?
So he didn't.
I know we did it,
in
with the exception of uncovering the 6-foot asphalt
Oh
berm.
my god!
Potential bias, whether unconscious or subjective, to be perceived by the O'Keefe's, by the O'Keefe family.
Mr. Jackson, is this
All
video
right,
update
so
yours or
he
is
just
it?
basically goes and says,
later time.
No, it was February 1st.
Did the Lexus remain?
There was 4 other officers, yes.
Can you just name those other officers?
Yeah, Detective Sergeant Lank, Lank, Detective Sergeant Good, Goode, Officer Mullaney, Mullaney, and Officer Saraf, Saraf.
Okay. When you the search of the scene, the recovery of evidence, the recovery of biological material, the use of tools to recover those biological materials, all of that rested at least ultimately with the scene on your shoulders, correct?
Yes, I did.
Isn't it true that you weren't interviewed in this case with regard to anything having to do with this case until April 3rd, 2024, correct?
Yes, we can call it an interview. It's when I met with the prosecutor, yes.
And that was about 2.5 years, nearly 2.5 years after this incident, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Michael Proctor, you know that name?
I do.
Who's Michael Proctor?
He was one of the troopers assigned to investigate the case.
As a matter of fact, he was the lead investigator for the case, correct?
I don't know if he was lead or trooper mechanic. I don't know.
As you sit here, you don't know that Michael Proctor was the lead case agent for...
I know he was one of them, yes.
Okay. Do you know that he was the lead investigator assigned to the case?
I don't. I had nothing to do with the DA's office.
Right. I know you didn't have...
I don't know how they assign their cases, counsel. I don't know what you want me to say. I can't say what I don't know.
Mr. Gallagher, I'm not asking you to. I'm just asking if...
I did not know he was lead. I knew he was one of the leads.
Okay.
I believe they do it in a tandem, but I'm not sure.
Okay. He may have had a partner, correct?
That is correct, yes.
But it's not unusual to have a lead case agent, the person who's responsible for most of the search warrant writing and the memorialization of documentation of evidence collection and the movement of evidence and booking into evidence, things like that.
That is correct, but I don't know anything about who wrote their affidavits.
I just don't know.
Logged their.
I just don't know. Oh wait, I don't want chapters. I want transcript. Okay. So
interview you formally about your conduct and responsibilities before April of 2024.
I don't understand that question.
Did anybody at Canton PD, separating out Massachusetts State Police, did you sit down at Canton PD and provide an interview with anybody at Canton PD about your conduct at the scene?
What do you mean by conduct?
What do you mean by conduct?
Going to the scene, collecting evidence, securing evidence, transferring evidence, booking evidence, those kinds of things. Your conduct at the scene, sir.
Yeah, I briefed my superiors, yes.
Okay, other than briefing, was there a formal report written?
No.
Or a formal interview conducted of you?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. Tell us when you wrote your report about what happened at the scene.
This. I didn't write a report.
What you did at the scene.
I'm not the report writer.
You didn't write a report?
About the scene that day at the scene?
Correct, about this.
I make
I only
everybody
did
else
the
write their
metadata
reports.
report. I did not write a report at the scene.
You never, in fact, the fact is you never wrote any report about what happened at the scene, correct?
Correct.
You didn't memorialize that in any formal way on Canton PD letterhead to describe what you did and how you did it at the scene.
No.
Nope. I am such a good important person
Metadata
that
report,
I
huh?
don't
Normally, when
write
you
them.
report to a scene
I
as a
don't
first
have to write a
responder,
report.
you would be expected to write a report about that, whatever that conduct is.
I'm not the supervisor, no.
What if you're the ranking person at a scene that ultimately turns into a homicide scene?
Well, we don't know it's a homicide scene at this time. We don't even know
Why, he's
there's a
asking
crime
you.
committed at this time. My
Understood.
responsibilities are to make sure reports are written, not to necessarily write the reports myself. I'm the supervisor. It's
Although-
my job to make sure reports are written, evidence is logged, those types of things.
Under ordinary circumstances, you would respond to a scene as a supervisor, and you would oversee what other people are doing. What you're
That's correct.
Can I finish?
Sure.
I don't want to talk over each other.
I apologize.
You would want to supervise or oversee what your subordinate officers, whatever he or she might be doing or they might be doing. You're going to oversee that. But they're the ones actually conducting the investigation or picking up evidence or
Salad.
interviews, writing those
Salad.
things of that nature.
Correct. Detective Sergeant Lake's investigation, yes.
So in that circumstance, you wouldn't be expected to write a report because all of that conduct is memorialized by others subordinate to the supervisor, correct?
Correct.
But in this case, like the opposite happened. You were the one that was in the video utilizing the leaf blower, correct?
That's correct.
You were the one that actually exposed the drinking glass, correct?
Correct, yes.
You noted the drinking glass and actually called somebody else over to take a look at it, correct?
That's correct.
You directed someone, Sergeant Lang, to pick up the drinking glass and recover it as a potential piece of evidence.
That is correct.
You noted the blood or the coagulation of blood in and around that area, correct?
That is correct.
You noted where you believe the drinking glass was, in other words, what location, if there were grid coordinates, where it would be, correct?
Correct.
And you instructed others to transport that important evidence back to Canton PD to have it booked, correct?
That is correct.
You also secured the plastic containers in which to recover the blood.
That is
right?
correct.
You also directed someone to get a bag to put the plastic containers in and ultimately transport it, correct?
That is correct.
So you would agree with me, Mr. Gallagher, that in this circumstance, you were the centerpiece of the recovery of evidence and the investigation as it was at that time in that limited context. You were the centerpiece of what was happening at the scene, correct?
And I made sure it was documented by Detective Sergeant Lang.
But you didn't find it important
You made sure that he did it.
enough to write a report
God.
yourself.
I think that's poor misrepresentation. There's a person fighting for their life. It was very important.
When you were there at the scene at, what time was it, by the way?
I got there shortly after 7.
Okay, you knew that that person who was fighting for his life had already been transported and was in good care, as best care we can provide at Good Samaritan Hospital, correct?
That is correct.
So certainly you're not excusing away the idea that you didn't memorialize your conduct because you were too busy fighting for someone's life. That's not what you're saying.
No, it definitely is not what I'm saying.
That is what he said.
Documented by Detective Sergeant Lang.
But you didn't find it important enough to write a report yourself.
I think that's poor misrepresentation. There's a person fighting for their life. It was very important.
That's exactly what he just said. There's a person fighting for their life. It's very important. What? This guy is a joke. This whole Canton Police Department is a joke.
When you responded to the scene, Deputy Chief Kelleher did not come out of his house and take over the investigation.
So, I mean, yeah, this
to gather biological material, correct?
We do have swabs, yes.
And those swabs go in little containers to maintain their sanitary nature, correct?
That is correct, yes.
In other words, if you see a blood stain, you don't just walk up with a Kleenex that you find on the ground and wipe it up. There's your blood stain. there's a process for gathering that type of evidence, correct?
Sure. If you're looking for DNA, you can use a bloody Kleenex, to your point.
It'd be kind of an emergency.
Yeah, absolutely. My point exactly.
But if you're a mile from the Canton PD,
Yeah,
you could have gone back and done the swab.
could have.
But you didn't.
Didn't want to because of the weather, because you just said because it's an emergency, and we thought it was an emergency there. I mean, the storm was coming down terribly, and I believe if we didn't collect that biological,
It's so
The same kind of
ridiculous.
solo cups that we all see at backyard barbecues.
Yep, they hold liquid terrifically.
Didn't you just say that? Oh my God, I can't believe this dipshit
For
just said
plastic
that.
or glass containers, he had solo cups, and I utilized them.
The same kind of solo cups that we all see at backyard barbecues.
Yep, they hold liquid terrifically.
They're also not.
This is so ridiculous.
Were there six solo cups? We don't know as we sit here where each of those solo cups contents came from specifically, do we?
Specifically, no.
Okay. Then those solo cups with no lids were placed into a bag, right?
That's correct.
You said on direct examination that this was a brown paper bag, right?
It is. Stop and Shop, I believe.
And you said that Stop and Shop bag is, other than having the words Stop and Shop on it versus evidence on it, basically the one and the same thing.
Same dimensions, made out of the same materials, yes.
Right. But with an evidence bag, we know exactly where it came from and who's handled it.
Yeah, anyway.
Solo cups were placed in the evidence bag.
This is just
uncovered.
stupid.
Yes.
All right.
The evidence bag
So I don't remember. Did he have a?
was in place.
Oh, yes.
Is he
Was it
coming back up
forensically
tomorrow,
certified
or
cups
is
were still
AJ
open?
done? I don't
There's
remember.
liquid blood and liquid water. Like,
I've never seen an evidence one.
that's all I had, Robert, at least at this time.
All right,
Okay, so-
have it come back tomorrow morning. Jury files that you can file.
All right. So Paul Gallagher's done. He'll be back tomorrow morning. Then they do a sidebar, and we're done for the day. All right. Let's take a quick look at. Hold it up here. This is Jessica Mikado. Share this tab instead. And last evening, or so, this was a couple days ago, but like 2 nights ago, she is a completely independent journalist. She did work for a paper called the Fall River Reporter. She's no longer there. She is doing this all on her own. So she is the definition of an independent journalist. And then so she actually won Journalist of the Year from the 2025 annual Lincoln Reagan Dinner and Awards. So that's a very cool award. She was blown away by it too. So very cool. And then she was actually in the courthouse today. So let's see. So there's her picture. Oh, gotcha. He's going to continue across tomorrow. Okay. All right. Yep. All right. So jurors arrived. Reading her stuff. So there's one juror that basically is just a complete crazy note taker, like just takes notes after notes after notes after notes, just does not even look up, does not stop talking or does not stop note writing to look at any of the witnesses, just constantly writing notes. And she's seen this page where it's just full of notes. So, and there's like a few others that do some note taking, but this person is just obsessed with note taking. The jury directly note taker's right is also an avid note taker, and the juror to the right of that person is too. For instance, and then there's a smirky juror. There's like a juror that smirks a lot, and so we'll see. Talking about Nagel. Nagel says he never saw a person get out of Reed's SUV. Nothing really about the jury there. 7 jurors are taking notes. Uninterested juror has their arms crossed. Defense says no further question. Hank wants a redirect. Hank is asked a picture of John O'Keefe. So we're done with Nagel. Now we got Heather Maxim. Jan is done with Heather as well. Then we go on to So we got Katie McLaughlin, and then no, actually, it's that. So why did that skip? What in the world? Why does this thing? It's crazy because it's like the thing just broke. Her thread just completely broke. All right, so Levinson didn't much, and then nine of the 12 jurors had their head down taking notes when Katie McLaughlin was talking about the I hit him. Katie said she didn't have a close personal relation with her. An interested juror has her head on the head on the rail in front of her. Heads just snap. We are getting down to the actual relationship between Katie and Caitlin, and Brennan has asked for a sidebar. Heads just snapped over to Katie when Jackson asked, "Is it true that one of Katie's best friends lived with Caitlin Albert?" She said yes. I'm lost. Why is Jackson not allowed to get the photos in? He showed her. Of course. Because it's Canoni. She's not going to let anything in that's bad for that's good for the defense. Smirking. So Jackson just got denied by Canoni for approaching a witness. Smirking juror just made a noise. Juror in front of him turned around and was smiling towards the smirking juror. Oh. So they're communicating back and forth. All right. Okay. All right. So Jackson and Brennan were overlooking papers. We'll come back now. Start with the sidebars. Question by Canoni. Lots of leaning in by the defense. Listening. CW calls Paul Gallagher. Retired last year. Jurors have perked up as the evidence box has been opened. Prior to this, they were sleepy. The box was open inside a small brown bag. An interested juror has taken notes. Juror up front has beyond confused look on her face as Jackson asks about the solo cups. They are taking notes. This is the same juror turned back to look at smirking juror when he made a noise in the earlier testimony. This juror is frustrated with the witness. Jackson just asked if the evidence bag was an actual evidence bag and said it was an evidence bag. You would know where the bag came from. Witness said, well, not really. The juror rolled their eyes and shook their head in belief. There's no evidence log for the solo cup. Juror sighs. We are ending for the day. So there you go. There's a little bit of, I mean, I don't know. I think maybe the best outcome is an acquittal, but I mean, it's Massachusetts and those people are dumb. Second dumbest state in the union. Y'all know who number one is, but that's for another day. But the second dumbest state in the union is Massachusetts. So we will see. All right. We'll see what loveliness we get tomorrow. As for me, I'm going to go finish my salad and eat my lasagna from Bella Vista. Oh, we did Bella Vista, not Pompadour's? Pompadour's was closed. Oh, okay. Oh, weird. We just lost an Italian restaurant in Eagle River again. Yeah, that same one was closed before. But anyway. Okay. Thank you. Oh yeah, no, they seem like there's some communications going on. You can't talk about the case, but you can talk about everything else, and you can establish relationships, right? Every jury, especially in a long case like this, is going to establish relationships. Imagine being a juror on the OJ case. Holy God. I wouldn't even want to think about that. But all right. Thank you all. I will see you tomorrow. And we'll go from there. All right. Have a good night.